Why do people purchase prearranged funerals and burials?
That's the question that a Wall Street Journal reporter posed to me recently. And in this video, I'll share my answers with you.
Those motivations are peace of mind, spin downs, and funding a rite of sepulture. Peace of mind is the single greatest motivation for purchasing prearrangements. This is the term that funeral directors frequently use to describe the value of a pre-need contract. That term has greater meaning to the individual who's been through a funeral arrangement process and found it stressful and burdensome. Making funeral arrangements requires dozens of decisions. This is particularly true if the deceased did not make any preferences known about the funeral arrangements. If there's a discord within the family, this is the time where it starts to come to the surface and disagreements about how much money should be spent on the funeral, whether the funeral should be for a burial or cremation. Family members may disagree even about the service details or the obituary. A person who wishes to avoid these types of conflicts at the time of their death then would be motivated to purchase a pre-need contract. The next greatest motivation for the purchase of prearrangement would be the spin down. So when the nursing home becomes a necessity, most people have to apply for Medicaid. Each state has its own guidelines for how much assets an individual can have. When an individual has too much in assets to qualify for Medicaid, there are guidelines for how those assets can be spent down. All states permit excess assets to be spent towards a pre-need or pre-need burial arrangement that's made irrevocable. The spin down is not necessarily a one-time occurrence. Sometimes after entering the nursing home, the individual may receive additional assets either through retirement plans or other types of financial vehicles. And the nursing home will work with the funeral home to apply those excess funds to maintain eligibility. The third motivation to purchase a prearrangement would be the individual's desire to fund a rite of sepulture. Every state has a rite of sepulture law that grants to each of us the right to control how our body is cared for after our death. These state laws give us the ability to appoint a rite of sepulture agent through either a power of attorney or a rite of sepulture designation form. However, there is a gap in every state law regarding the rite of sepulture. While the agent is given the power to ensure that our funeral or burial is carried out according to their wishes, these laws do not enable the agent to spend our money to pay for the funeral. With the exception of the rite of sepulture, a power of attorney will terminate upon our death. This means that the agent cannot spend from our funds to pay for the funeral. To overcome this gap, a person will purchase a prearranged funeral that ties or links to the rite of sepulture designation.
If you have questions this video did not answer, visit TransitionPlan YouTube channel for additional videos. We also post to the Preneed Resource Company Facebook page and to www.deathcare.com. You may also want to learn more about TransitionPlans by visiting www.stalterlegal.com and click on the TransitionPlans tab at the top of our website. Each of our documents are explained on the website. The TransitionPlans website will include prices for packages of life contracts. However, if you participate in a planning seminar sponsored by one of our affiliated hosts, we will discount the cost of your essential life contracts. Please contact that sponsor host for more information about pricing and our next Zoom meeting where we will answer your questions.